भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। राम 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 राम। राम 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 योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। राम 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 योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय രാമ 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 Rama Rama Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama Ram, Rama Rama Ram. भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। सर्वं योगी राम सूरत कुमारार्पणमस्तु। In appreciation of these great blessings, in adoration of His grace, with deep gratitude we have offered the Nama lotuses at His lotus feet, and we shall continue to do so, because that would be an expression of our gratitude to Him, that we keep on doing it. We have been going through some of those teachings of Bhagavan. Here is one more. This beggar doesn't know why he would do a certain thing and not the other. You see, it's all madness. Whatever Father wants this beggar to do, that this beggar does. No matter what, Father's work is done. That's all. This beggar has been assigned a great mission, and this beggar does his work in every step he walks. So Bhagavan, I used to call it Brahmastra. Every time I wanted to know why he was doing a certain thing, because it would be so different from what was happening, and what he said or did was totally out of that situation, that I would be impelled to ask why he was doing that. And then he would give out his Brahmastra. He would say, this beggar doesn't know Devaki. Father knows. Whatever Father wants this beggar to do, that this beggar does. And then he would add, this beggar does not know why he would do a certain thing and not the other. Of course, he would know, and there was no need for us to know. He didn't have to tell us, for in doing whatever he wanted, there was so much consideration. The consideration for the whole cosmos. It was not just an individual's welfare, but the welfare of the whole cosmos, and it was for the greater good. So there were so many subtleties involved, and every time anybody questioned him why he was smiling, why he was doing this, why he was doing that, all that he would say, oh, this beggar doesn't know. Only Father knows. This beggar has no freedom to ask Father why he would do a certain thing and not the other. So that is it. That would put a full stop to all our questions, and next time when it happened we would keep quiet. Of course, so many things. He often said that when he had to do when he had to give a certain benefit to a certain devotee against their past karma, it would take time and it involved so many aspects for the whole cosmos, so many difficulties, because everything is linked with everything else. If he adjusted in one place, for sure, in another place, something would break up. In fact, when he had to go through the pain of cancer, and if we asked him why he had to go through it, after all he was slogging for the welfare of the whole world. Why would his father subject him to this cruelty? All that he said repeatedly was that Father was doing it to him for some cosmic balance. How would you take it? How would you understand it? Whatever we understood, it would be out of our guessing. And we did not have enough experience or knowledge to guess it right, because it involves the whole creation, whole cosmos. He was a cosmic being. So his Brahmastra to any question to inquisitive people was, he did not know. He did not know it himself. Only Father knew. But he said, this beggar has been assigned a great mission. And this beggar does his work in every step he walks. Elsewhere he says, in his every look, in his every word, in his every gesture, that Father would put to use whatever he said or did. In fact, in Sudama, at one point, he made me read that Madame Blavatsky's secret doctrine. It was small lettered and it ran to several pages. I had to go on reading and reading, though I didn't understand anything at all in many, many, many places. It involved so many levels of consciousness, so many beings at different levels of consciousness, different races and whatnot. So finally when I complained, and out of curiosity I asked him, why was he making me read this when I didn't understand? He knew. He understood that I didn't understand anything at all, and yet he was asking me to go on and on. Then he burst out laughing, saying, this beggar also doesn't understand anything. And then there would be a burst of his cascading laughter. But then he said, Devki, Father wants you to read this. Father wants this beggar and you to read it, and Father will put it to use. So the two sentences that he spoke reveals the whole thing. Whatever we do is because Father wants us to do. And Father would put it to use in the right time, in the right situation. This is the truth of life. And then he said Father has given this beggar a great mission. Seeing people and blessing them is only a small fraction of my Father's work. Most of this beggar's work is hidden. He was a hidden saint for a long, long time. Only in the last, I think from 85 or 86, he started to give darshan, regular darshan to people. Otherwise, people who visited him did not know where to find him at all. There were quite a few haunts where he could be found, but then mostly people didn't find him. They had to keep guessing. So it was only in the last 12 years he began to give regular darshan. Until then he was a hidden saint, and that is why Hilda Charlton had spoken of him as a hidden saint. There is a book in which she had written 2 or 3 articles on Yogiram Sarathkumar, where she says that he was a hidden saint. So now we'll have to bring all this, whatever we have read in the satsang, to our mind again and again. And if possible, we must go into deep contemplative meditation. The rest will be seen by Bhagavan. We shall now offer our today's prayer at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Bhagavan, we beg you again and again, a million times, for your immediate divine intervention to bring forth a dharmic normalcy to today's world. Why? Because today's world is a world of violence. Violence seems to be the answer to all the solutions, all the questions, all the problems of the world. It's so terrible what we see around, very frightening. We beg you, Bhagavan, to bring in unity, harmony, order and discipline into the lives of people. That people should start living a dharmic life with remembrance of God, instead of living any way they like and create a philosophy to suit themselves, to justify what they are doing. And Bhagavan, there is a war that's going on already between 2 countries with its own justification. But then we have been seeing those ruinous results in the past 2 years. We beg you to stop this war immediately so that peace be prevalent once again. And there should be no mention of the word war at all among the countries of the world. You, thou art the cosmic controller, only you can establish this. We also beg you to keep under control all those sudden attacks of those cruel diseases, killer diseases, and those violent furies of nature, and those terrible accidents. We also beg you, Bhagavan, to uproot all the negativities, all the asuric thoughts of the human mind which are responsible for today's world of violence. We beg you once again, in the whole world, whichever country people belong to, whichever language they speak, whichever religion they have embraced, they all go through some suffering or the other because of their past karma, and that without help or protection. They may not believe in the theory of karma or rebirth, and yet the law of karma, which is relentless, would attack meticulously, and it doesn't wait for your own faith or lack of it. We beg you, Bhagavan, to reach out to all those people all over the world and do the needful. We also beg you to protect all those unselfish people all over the world who have been working very hard for the welfare of the others from unnecessary, unworthy, unhealthy remarks, criticisms, and aspersion. For they come in the way of constructive work. We beg you again to promote the economy of the country and the growth in varied fields of activity so that India would reach its highest status as the world teacher to conduct the whole world in the path of Dharma. We pray to you in all sincerity and earnestness for ceaseless and joyful chanting of your powerful name and unbroken remembrance of your Leelas and teachings. The teachings that we have been going through, we have to go through again and again and again until by His own grace it would strike us what exactly it means and how it could transform us for a better life. Bhagwan, we should remember all that you have said and make it into our Atma Shakti. We know that we are all only instruments in your hands, but then we beg you all the same to bless us to be only sattvic instruments and not rakshasic elements, even by mistake. Please bless us to run our everyday life as an offering to you and not be caught by the snares of Maya. We also seek that ultimate state of being, the state of bliss and peace of yours, but then we know that our minds have to be purified. Why? Because there is so much of the leftover residual impressions of our past karma, of the past janmas, because of which there are sudden attacks of fear. We do not even know why a fear comes to us and for what. And again, there is the attack of poisonous anger and jealousy, and of course passion and growing desires for worldly possessions, and above all, the sorrow, the grief over something trivial. Just by comparing ourselves unnecessarily with other people, we land ourselves into unnecessary suffering. We begin to think that we lack this, we lack that. And then thinking again and again, we blow it out of all proportion until it becomes a very deep depression and medicine. But then, Bhagwan, you had thundered often that the name of the Divine is a very powerful weapon against all our past karmas. We take refuge in your own powerful name and seek your blessings for early purification. Wherever we live in this world, whatever duty falls upon us, we know it's all your work. And we should be able to do it in the spirit of service to you, and that joyfully, without any unhealthy competition or jealousy. So that even the duty, the work that has fallen upon us will turn into Atma Shakti. And Bhagwan, please bless us to practice. Please bless us to practice acceptance of whatever life brings to us, be it a joy or sorrow. Coming from you, it can only be a great blessing, a blessing for our spiritual growth, for our greater benefit, for our closer kinship with God. For when a bad karma begins to play up, we know what happens. Everything seems to change dramatically and overnight. Whatever we had been doing would suddenly misfire. Every gesture of ours would be mistaken, and we would be heavily criticized, and we collapse. Suddenly we find ourselves with no strength at all to cope up with the situation. It would seem all that we held as security and strength would suddenly desert us, and we collapse. We begin to resent God and His grace, feeling terribly let down by Him, and we try to move away. We also blame others bitterly for our own failures, little realizing that all our sufferings, every suffering of our life, is what we invited ourselves by our past karmas. Even a word of praise or a word of abuse will get into our accounts in the cosmic register unfailingly, and it would return to us at the most unexpected time, all by the divine law of karma. But then God, for His part, is full of compassion and generosity that He keeps. He puts a blessing also in the punishment. And what does it do? It pushes us back to God. And out of the suffering, the very suffering that we go through, a higher wisdom is born, which clears the clouds of our mind, and a new strength is born, a new clarity. And then we begin to see the reflection of the divine in our heart. Bhagavan, please bless us to know that only your sankalpa, your will, that's behind all the happenings of life and the world. Please bless us to be grateful to you even for the adversities of life, because we know now they are greater blessings in disguise. We also seek your powerful blessings for all the species of the cosmos to be lifted to a higher plane. And finally, we who have been seeking only solutions endlessly for the problems of life now seek dissolution of the root cause of that vicious cycle of repeated births and deaths. And what is it? Our identification, the narrow identification with the body, the utter selfishness of I and mine, the tyranny of the ego. We beg you, Bhagavan, to approve this Aham Bhavam and promote Atma Bhavam in us, so that we be blessed with that immortal life, that eternal living in merger with you, or eternal servitude to you, that eternal supreme divinity. Jai Yogi Ram Sarat Kumar.